I feel that, Murray. Hello, everyone and everything, and welcome back to more Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. In the last episode, we took down Mugshot. And in this episode,
I figured out a way to get us to Haiti.
World 3 is now in our sights. Let's get going.
The third member of the Fiendish Five was the infamous voodoo priestess, Ms. Ruby. Born into a family of mystics, other children found her scary. Teaching herself to summon the undead provided what few friends she had. A career in crime allowed an adult Ms. Ruby to punish the world for fearing her as a child. Chief mystic for the Fiendish Five, her powers allowed them to break both the laws of man and nature at the same time. Yet despite the whirlwind success of her youth, she managed to slip into obscurity. Last known sightings claim she headed out of civilization and deep into the Haitian jungle.
Vicious Voodoo. Another complete tonal shift. Although it does feel a little more similar to the Welsh Triangle that we began in. Not much more to it. Let's get going.
Sorry, Sly, but this is one mission you will have to accomplish without me.
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Sure I do. My scanners have picked up verifiable paranormal activity. But that's not the problem. This swamp is oozing with disgusting mold and bacteria.
Suck it up, Bentley. We got work to do.
Well, all right then. Don't forget to use the new move you learned from Mugshot's section of the Fiendish Raccoonus.
You mean the raccoon rail walk?
The roots and vines around here are perfect for that. All you gotta do is
Jump and hit the circle button.
especially where you see the bark has been worn away, and where it's super slick from icky slime and moss, you'll rail slide like a skater grinding pipe.
I'm liking it.
This is such a fluid addition to Sly's moveset. You can now run along thin paths without having to walk sideways along them. Super helpful, super fun, and just all around a satisfying addition to our thiefy moveset. Lots of bottles. Hopefully we go a little while without seeing another 40 bottle level. Let's see here. Yeah, we're all set. Bottles are going to be few and far between, but at least there's not 100 of them. Ooh. Now the enemies so far have been a lot less anthropomorphic, which is a word I kind of want to stop leaning on, but it's the only one that really means what it means. They're just a lot more animal, well, wild looking. These mosquitoes especially give me a lot of trouble. They have a weird attack pattern where they don't travel at a super consistent speed towards you. Haven't gotten hit yet, but I'm sure that'll change in short order. We've got a whole bunch to explore here. These levels are about to get really twisty. I absolutely love Vicious Voodoo. It represents such a turning point in this game as far as like difficulty. The game's really gonna start pulling its punches for going forward. For instance, our very first enemy other than the boss that takes more than one hit. I'll show you again because there's more up here. These enemies split apart on your first hit into a head and body combination and then kill you. Just kidding, I have a horseshoe. So we split them apart. I think if we use dive, we're gonna have a little bit of an easier... Alright, don't use dive. I haven't talked much about the music in this game. I'll go ahead and start off by saying it's great. It always fits the mood perfectly. But something that I really enjoy Well, I'll finish that sentence in a bit. So something I really enjoy now that we're in the Deep South in Central America is this level has a lot of banjo. Which just really drives home. Alright. Game over. Game over. Ah, the first game over that actually matters. You guys, I've got it. This is the perfect opportunity to use the decoy. Go for the decoy. Okay, I think he actually did go for the decoy. It kind of maybe sort of helped a little bit. Well hidden bottle over there. Not so well hidden bottles over there. And a nice big leap over here. Splendid, splendid. We are just about through this already. Bang! Those are our flashlight guards of the day. Now, I honestly died too many times to remember what my train of thought was, but basically, banjo is cool, and I like the...
That's Miss Ruby's lair. To get in, you'll need that key on top of a tiki pedestal in the guard compound. There's a bad mojo force field protecting it, so you'll have to destroy all 5 of the purple candles surrounding it.
No problem.
Don't get cocky or you'll end up with your head shrunk to the size of a pea. You've got to get past those voodoo guards, and I'm warning you, they're mean and they work like a team.
So do we, buddy.
I like the banjo! Just... Ah! This is interesting. These flashlight guards have a lot lower flashlight range than any other we've seen so far. Which I feel... Uh-oh. Oh, thanks for gathering all the boys up together with me. Gotcha. Oop, there's another one. We're okay, and... Oh, gotcha. The power of horseshoes is greater. And that's gonna do it for all the guards in this area. I'm just gonna try and take them out stealthily, but... I'm about ready to be done with this level. As long as we find the vault. And the last bottle right next to each other. How often does that happen? Well, usually, actually.
Circle to enter the vault code.
If I did my math right, and I always do my math right, then the combination has got to be 588.
Wait, I actually guessed the first one right. Let's see what our first swamp-bound Thievius Raccoonus page is.
Electrified! Kelly McCooper's notes on how to harness the electromagnetic field created by a rolling raccoon. Now your raccoon roll move will really pack a punch. Plus, it should give you a nice tingling sensation.
Yes! Oh, this one is actually really good. I haven't been using my roll too much outside speedruns, but now it's going to have this electric field around it, which is going to generate a constant hitbox around Sly. Anything that touches us is going to instantly be damaged, and outside of very few cases where enemies have more than one hit in them, that's going to get us to win pretty much every interaction. It is a very useful thing. Now, the key still has its bad mojo thing around it. I gotta find that other candle. It's not up here, right? No. Let's see it. These are candles. That's awkward. Where's the... There it is. Gotcha.
You've done it! The mojo force field is down, and you can steal the key!
Key acquired. Spectacular. the swamp's dark center.
My paranormal scanner is maxing out on that structure.
A reading like that could only be coming off Ms. Ruby herself.
I think you're right, Sly. If you want to crack at Ms. Ruby, you're going to have to find a way inside that skull temple.
So here we are in the hub, and this is probably the most treacherous of the main hubs that we've encountered as of yet. There's a lot to it, a lot of places to fall. All of the Fiendish 5 members that we've encountered thus far have had huge personalities, but Miss Ruby puts them to shame. She is a joy to listen to. So here's our key set this time about.
They seem to have this gate locked up pretty tight. Must be something pretty valuable in here. A couple more treasure keys should give us the answer.
Not sure how that's going to accomplish getting us past this gate, but we will come to find out. Now, give me a moment while I figure out which level I want to do. Okay, I believe I've decided. We're gonna head up this rope here. Now, we have an opportunity to sneak around behind this guard, but I want to show something that you actually can use the decoy for. Because remember, enemies taunt when they think they've taken you out. And that gives you ample opportunity to come up and strike them down. So our level today is... Shoot, that actually wasn't the one I was thinking it was either. Wait, hang on. Is it this one down here? Yeah. Yes, yes it is. Piranha Lake.
Sly, the only way to open up that voodoo gate is by lighting all 25 tiki torches with the flamethrower on your swamp skiff. Use the left analog stick to steer and press the X button to fire the flamethrower. Oh, and one more thing. You need fuel from the flamethrower, and the only source of oil are those piranha you see swimming around. Run them down with a boat. One fish fuels one shot. Hurry, you only have 2 minutes to get all the torches lit.
This is one of the weirdest levels in this game. Taking control of this swamp skiff, our goal is to run over piranhas and use the fuel that they provide us with to light these torches. Now, as random as this is, it's really high-paced, and as much as I used to hate it as a kid just for being so difficult to get used to, it's really grown on me over the years. It's really just goofy. Embraces something so bizarre, and yet plays it so straight. Now, the only thing that I think is truly important here, as far as advice goes, is just don't rush the shots on these torches. You don't have a ton of time, and you are going to fail this a few times if you've never done it before. Heck, I'm probably going to fail at this attempt, just because it's been a while since the last time I did it. But as long as you don't miss the shots on the torches themselves, you should have plenty of time. Once you get the hang of the actual controls, I should say. Now, taking down these big groups of like 3 or 4 piranhas is a good way to get a lot of time saved down. We're on a pretty good pace here. We've got 30 seconds to find few more torches. There's one. Trying to be systematic about which torches you light is a bit of a fool's errand, because these piranhas are really gonna give you the runaround. So I'm down to 2 more. I've got all the fuel I need. I just need to find the torches. There's one. We got 10 seconds. I don't know where it is. That's a shame. Once more with feeling. Seems like the piranhas always spawn over here, right by that side. I am going to attempt to be systematic, despite the fact that I just said that that's not going to work. But you never know. Anything is possible. I'm going to try my best to light them from the outside in. Now, I should mention that the hitbox on the torches for actually lighting them is fairly generous. So even though you can miss them, as long as you're aiming generally in the right direction, you shouldn't have an issue with that. Alright, we're back over here on the other side. Gonna light this one, and you too. This is actually going really well. We've got a bunch of torches lit on either side, and the only ones we're missing are in the center now. Though the piranhas are giving me the slip here. Whoa! Hit the ramp on that. I bet there's some really fun physics stuff you can do with this swamp skiff. There's got to be like a spot you can hit just right to send yourself flying. I know that I have been using a lot of glitches that send Sly flying, but I don't know all of them. I wish I did. I would show them off every time because they never stop being entertaining. I bet this is probably the one I missed. Hey, not bad. Not bad at all. We're just going to ride on up here and claim our justly deserved key. And I call that an unqualified success. And our speedrun of the day is straight to the top. Now, I'm a big fan of this one. There's a lot that's possible to do. We're gonna head straight over here to this slight upbring here, and we can jump straight up past that entire first section, which is just fun to do. We can also do something similar from this T. We get it just right. Did not get it just right. You can jump from the T to this bar here. I messed it up, but that's not a big deal. We've already saved plenty of time. And that's gonna be most of the skips that are generally possible right now. We do have to run all the way up this thing. Alright, that's not gonna work. You know what else is possible? Actually, there's another skip that I'm not doing. We can go from this upper arrow to this pole right here. There we go. Lots of pole shenanigans this level around. Fun stuff indeed. And just ignore that good old-fashioned Dalmatian. And this is just going to be about finishing us off here. Kind of a relief that the timer doesn't tick down during this cutscene. Most levels do not have cutscenes, but this is one of them. And there is our speedrun. Now, I am happy with that, but let's just say they don't call this level straight to the top for nothing. No. There is something far better than the skips that I just showed with the pole shenanigans. Head to this corner with the tire and the 2 crates. Jump down between them all. And just like that, straight to the top. And that's gonna do it for that level. And with a measly 52 seconds left on that Master Thief sprint, that is going to do it from me for this episode. So before I hand it off to the developers, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It really does mean a lot. But if you're thinking about liking this video, I just want to let you know we'll have an army of ghosts by morning and take over Mexico by the end of the week. See you guys next time.
This is the only level in Mugshot's world that actually is a casino. And originally, when we had set off to make Mugshot's world, it was all going to be casino. We just sort of weren't that interested in doing a whole casino world after doing one.
So we had to find lots of stuff around it. That's why we have buildings outside of it and the rooftop on top of it.
Well, it's just more interesting going through the urban environment
than
it was kind of making your way through these slot machines and dodging the gangster dogs.
Kind of like real Vegas, where it's interesting for the first time you see it and for a little while, and then after a while you kind of get numbed.
But it's based on real casinos that have a lot of water and swinging, sparking cables.
Yeah.
That you've seen real casinos you've been to over in Tulalip.
No, in fact, it's not. It's not. This level features a couple game mechanics that we use all over the place, but in here it's pretty pronounced, and that's when you get up on top of chandeliers and you're looking down on a guard, where the whole point is to get the drop on your opponent, jump down and smack them in the head with your cane. I think this was the first place we did it, and we use it all over the game, but there's some pretty clear examples in here. And oddly enough, even though you're many, many feet away from your opponent and you can go anywhere, whenever we see people playing, they instinctually bash people in the backs of their heads from above. So it seems to be pretty core to human behavior. Another very core Sly Cooper kind of gameplay concept is what we call M+1, and M standing for mechanic. So when you're playing the second half of this level and you're jumping on those spinning roulette wheels, you'll notice that the first set you're on, they're not dangerous at all. And that's just to teach you sort of what it's like to be on these wheels that have little partitions and they're moving. And then the second one you get to has dangerous tabs in them. So you have to kind of watch out where you're jumping. That's M+1. The +1 is the dangerous tabs. Then you get to the third set of wheels and you're at M+1+2. And the 2 is the laser beams, which you can't cross. So you need to get between the wheels fast. And then you get to the fourth set of wheels, and the wheels are going in the opposite direction. If you sit and you play this game, or the second half, and you really look at how the difficulty is ratcheted up one wheel at a time, it's crazy clear that that's how we try and increase the tension in the gameplay, but not overwhelming the player off the bat with complexity, because you're taught each little mechanic along the way.
We actually worked hard to figure out how to get Murray into the game, how to make him part of gameplay.
Because you like the character.
Yeah, he was fun. So we were trying hard to get Murray into the gameplay, so you actually got to play as Murray. Our original idea was that we'd turn Murray into kind of a Rambo character and give him big guns and have him run around. And, well, we did that, and it really felt out of character for Murray to be running around with a big machine gun. And so all those levels we actually turned into the tank levels. So the hover tank that Sly drives around in and shoots stuff up in, that was originally Murray. You did almost exactly the same levels, but you did them as Murray carrying a gun rather than as Sly driving around on a hover tank. And once we decided not to do that, then we said, well, when we decided to do a racing game, it was pretty obvious that the original idea with the racing game was that we would have Sly driving something, a pickup or an ATV or a motorcycle or something. But then we realized that people were probably going to wish that they could drive the getaway van at some point in the game. This was an obvious place to do that. So once we decided to do that, then it became clear that was where Murray was going to be playable. He was going to be the driver, and in the driving levels, you could be Murray.
In any of the dialogues, you can move the left and right joystick to actually slightly change the angle of the characters' heads. So you can make them nod yes and shake their heads no, or make them swirl their heads in little drunken circles.
Did you ever figure out what speed this thing is actually going at?
Yeah,
If it
sure.
were translated to real world land.
Everything inside the engine's in centimeters per second. And this one, the van tops out at about 3,000 centimeters per second, which I think is about 45 miles an hour.
What's this hot dog sign you're talking about?
The backstory for this level is that Murray's doing something, who knows, and ends up getting hungry and goes off looking for food while Sly is risking his life trying to retrieve the previous raccoons.
And that's based on real life, too.
Yeah,
That's what happened at your company.
Yeah.
We've had a running joke through the development of the Mugshot 300 level of whose face is it on the giant hot dog stand.
Man, those crummy dogs are bumping me right and left.
Get back in there and bang them back. We need that key.
So before I hand it over to the commentators of the